Hello, everyone. It's me again, and I actually decided to just start pulling the cards before filming, just to jump into it. I'm in a jump into it mood today. Um, Stay cool, folks out there experiencing the heat wave. It's summertime, so I guess it's bound to get hot. But anyway, first card that came up. First card to come up was this Queen of Cups card. Queen of Cups, which I feel like is it's largely around feeling more one with your emotions. It's the Queen of Cups, feminine energy, right? And so, let's see. I think of feminine energy. I think of spirit. I think of creative energy, like procreation. For artists out there, a lot of you maybe didn't realize that like what you're doing when you're creating art and putting it out there is tapping into feminine energy. Like creating the art and then making a business out of it is very much balancing masculine and feminine energy, which is essentially what I'm working on for myself. This is actually one of my favorite cards. It's the very next one that came out. It's the Hierophant card. And so like them coming out back to back is very much a reflection of what I just said. The balancing out of the masculine and the feminine energy. What I love about this card is it looks like laughter and joy, and it's this stairway to heaven. Every time I see this card, I actually feel something a little different, right? Or I feel a little more. Like he knows something that we don't. Like he knows something that we don't. Like he sees something that we don't. Let's see. It's also number 5. Yeah, the Hierophant card is also number 5, which is like changes, pivots, like shifting into Hierophant. Is also I feel like this is also about trusting intuition, which is something I've been reflecting on as well. My ability to trust my spirit guides and to trust myself and my ability to follow spiritual guidance, which of course leads us to this next card, the Two of Wands. It's sitting. She's in a. It's like she's in a relaxed outfit, but it also almost looked like business casual. And Wands is fire, which is action, and so she got her globe sitting there. What's that? It's a globe. Oh wow! Why am I just not really realizing? There's a globe. There's a picture of one of those cute old school minivans that from like the 70s, and it's like a little surfboard leaning up next to it. So like she may be in contemplation of doing some traveling. And then right after that is the Empress card, and which also coincides with giving birth to a new idea, giving birth to a new you. Empress, you have the Empress, you have the Hierophant. Having the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Cups out, like if I was, reading for someone else, I would say, you must be a highly intuitive person. You must be a highly intuitive person. You're feeling one with it. You're feeling a lot more in flow with it, and trusting, right? She got her hands up, like surrendering, which is also the energy that I've been as I'm starting to do these posts, it's pretty much I'm surrendering. Basically, I'm surrendering to the guidance, trusting more and surrendering more. Pardon this. I'm using this umbrella to block some of the sun and wind. I think it's going okay. That's probably going to get annoying, but I don't know. Whatever. Yes. So right, injustice. Sometimes, we're in situations, we get caught up in a situation, and we're wanting the situation to go the way we want it to go, and we feel like that's the justice, and sometimes that's not necessarily it. I wrote some notes. I'm going to say some stuff. I'm going to say more. I don't know, I just felt like starting with the cars today. This person is seeing themselves. They're looking at a reflection of themselves. Justice in the traditional deck. For me, it represents still releasing self-judgment. Releasing self-judgment. Maybe releasing the judgment of when you wasn't following that spiritual guidance. Again, I'll have more to say about that. I have notes. And I guess I was feeling uncertain where to start this time. I usually start with the notes, but I don't know. The cards came out, so the cards flowed, right? So I'm trusting that, surrendering to how Spirit wants to move today. The next card up is Knight of Wands. So you got Justice. It's also 11, right? It's like going through the gate of unconditionally loving yourself and celebrating that. Knight, and it's very possible, as we are multifaceted people, right? Maybe we have more experience in one area and less than another. The point that I'm getting at is, it's like somewhat, I guess I can say I'm somewhat of like a Hierophant and a Queen of Cups when it comes to doing this. It's still in a Knight energy in terms of like my entertainment side, right? Like I said, I'm a DJ, and I actually own drums that I haven't played in a long time. So like I'm a musician who's not really practicing that art. So it's like, trust the guidance. Spirit's been telling me, like, get out there and play, or play your instrument, play your drum, make music. All right. Also, simply celebrate life. Go out to where there is music. Maybe you don't make music. Go celebrate. Got this horse in the background. I don't know why I wanted to mention that. I'll come back to that at some point. Oh, we saw her already. And then there's this card's been coming out a lot, right? Because I feel like what Spirit is trying, what Spirit is wanting to guide me to is the funds, right? It's like you worked on yourself spiritually. I've been a DJ for a little while, so like that's why it's like a Knight, not so much King of Wands, which makes sense. I don't have this fully running business quite yet, but like that's the goal. And so it's like Spirit is keep telling me, it's like, keep trusting your gifts and your talents and your abilities. Just keep doing them, keep practicing them, and it's going to help you get more funds. That's why I keep pointing out that in this card in particular, it's like one purse you can see, the other purse looks kind of translucent, which to me represents money that you don't have yet. Money that you're wishing you had, money you're trying to manifest, money you're going to have. Which brings us to this King of Pentacles, right? And so they're like, take charge of your finances. Which is, I admit, I'm one of those artsy people that kind of, it's like I wanted to learn, it's like I started off wanting to learn business because I wanted money. And learning how to manifest also because I wanted money. And then the more I tapped into Spirit and what manifestation means and what gifts mean and what intuition means, the more I learned that and the more I tapped into that, the more I realize I'm here for more than just making money. Like, I'm here for more than just making money. This Hierophant. Hierophant is also someone people might go to for advice, for someone who can give them an honest opinion, someone who can give them a fair feedback, unbiased feedback, and someone who's connected to spirit, or someone who can, someone who's connected to spirit and who can channel messages from spirit realm. And so it's like, okay, you develop there. Basically spirit sees me out here, like, we see you doing this part and we see you enjoying yourself. And now it's time, King of Pentacles. Pentacles also doesn't just represent money. It represents, to me, the physical world. So I'm also trying to get, not trying, but working out more, being outside more, wanting to be more healthy, more physically healthy, dropping the vices. And then we have this Three of Wands, right? I feel like we went from Two of Wands to Three of Wands. So I feel like the Two of Wands was when we were in contemplation of going somewhere. And this Three of Wands, she looked like she's ready to go. Right? She's like, I'm ready. Like, let me pull it up. Two of Wands. Like, I'm sitting home, I'm thinking about it. Which is also action. Making a plan to leave is action. It's okay if it's not time yet. Spirit has been telling me, like, it's okay to start preparing for what's coming. Even if you don't know what's coming, we'll tell you. That's what the guidance is here for. This is what we're here for. We'll guide you on that next step. But we need you to do the planning. We need you to get your surfboard together. We need you to get ready to go. So maybe some of you are anticipating leaving a situation, and I would say I had a recent encounter. This is not, I'm not going to gossip about y'all in case y'all come across this. This is not what this is about. But one thing I recognize is there was the presence of this Leo Gemini energy again, right? So I'm saying that again because I've noticed over the last couple of years that I honestly keep meeting people who have somewhere Gemini Leo. It would be two people. One is a Gemini, one is a Leo. One is a Leo rising and the other one's a Gemini rising. Like, that just keeps happening. And when I researched it at the time, what I can remember is like when the Leo energy keeps coming into your life, I see that as a sign from spirit to let your light shine, and it's okay to be that confident Leo. It's okay to take charge in your situation. When we think of Leo, we think of leadership and basically be a boss, and don't be afraid to be a boss. And the Leo's also represented by the sun, right? So it's like I said, about letting your light shine. And in Gemini, when I think of Gemini, I often just think of communication is ruled by Mercury, right? And so yeah, this is me. I'm doing this part, and like this is very much being in a Leo Gemini energy of communicating. I started in Gemini season just because why not? I'm recognizing the signs. But the reason why I keep saying that is in this encounter, like, there were obvious signs about what this person should do about the situation that they're in, and they was like, no, I'm looking for Ten of Swords. So it's like, I'm not gonna do anything until I see that Ten of Swords, because that's the breakup card. And what I actually felt like was being reflected back to me is my own stubbornness. And they were saying things like, I don't want to sound arrogant, and I'm not sure I would say that was arrogant, but it is definitely stubbornness. What I was reflecting on is my own stubbornness and how I tend to do that as well. Like, I'll ask spirit for a sign, like, hey, should I do this, or I'm not sure what to do, and I'll get signs through these situations. Before I pick up a card, situation, a lot of times, matter of fact, one thing I want to point out about tarot cards is they all tell a story. Like, these are characters in one long story. And therefore, one card represents a snapshot in a story. That's why this whole long explanation about what each card means, because there's a story behind it. And what Spirit wanted me to convey was, not only are we giving you the signs, but you have the gift to see the sign. Like, the fact that you have this gift at all is one sign that maybe you're here for more. Maybe you're here for more. If you're dealing with a lot of people who don't understand this, you're probably already downplaying it. How can I say this? It's like, I have these gifts. I am able to see things other people can't see. And there's plenty of times where I could have just pretended otherwise in order to fit in, or in order to not ruffle feathers, or seem arrogant, or seem difficult, or seem some way. However, this is my gift. It was gifted to me. It's a birthright, but also is a gift to be gifted. It's what my gift is, to see. And so I show up the way I show up because that's who and what I am. And I think I changed the subject a little bit. I was making a point about stubbornness and signs. There are signs all around us all the time, and saying, oh, I'm not going to do anything until I get this particular sign, that is maybe more being like spoiled, or being stubborn to your own detriment, because your spirit guides wouldn't guide you away from a situation if it wasn't for your highest good, right? And sometimes we get caught up in the happenings of the situation, and sometimes maybe we have certain hang-ups and certain bad habits, like competitiveness. I notice sometimes people will be in these maybe third-party situations. They'll be caught up in these third-party situations because they want to win. They want to feel like they won in that situation, whereas maybe Spirit is trying to let you know, like, the situation got difficult, right? Maybe sometimes we get caught up wanting vindication, or sometimes we get caught up just wanting the outcome that we want. And not recognizing that Spirit is trying to give you the outcome that you want, maybe with someone else, somewhere else, doing something else. Maybe what Spirit has for you is even better than what you asked for, right? So it's like, I really want this sterling silver chain. And maybe Spirit is like, well, I was trying to give you a diamond one, but you're so fixated on getting the silver chain, there's no space for me to give you this diamond one. Actually, I have a better one for you. And recognizing the situation as the sign. And so the fact that I keep running into these similar energies, I've felt like Spirit is telling me about myself. And when you recognize it for the more you recognize it for what it is, the more you know you're finally moving on from it. And so that Queen of Cups energy is very much a surrendering energy. Like, you're finally surrendering to the guidance. When the masculines and the feminines start talking about being submissive, I feel like a lot of folks have a lot of misconception around the word submit. Oh, that women's supposed to submit, or femmes are supposed to submit. Submit means to agree. And so if we actually use the word agree rather than submit, we would actually have a better understanding of what that means. And so sometimes, myself being a rebellious spirit, being someone who wants to dance to the beat of their own drum, someone who wants to make their own decisions and do their own thing, sometimes we get stuck in our rebelliousness. We get stuck in that. We get so focused on being our own boss that we're not even listening to the spiritual guidance. It's like it's one thing to not listen to any advice from the people around you, but it's like you have this gift that you can actually see us, you can actually hear us, you can read these tarot cards. We have all these different ways to communicate, and we gave you all these signs, and you're asking for a sign of your sign. And when we're actually trying to help you, we're trying to help you dodge, maybe we're trying to help you dodge a bullet. And unfortunately, when you don't listen, oftentimes when you don't listen to your spiritual guidance, you learn from the circumstance. You learn from whatever happened. Is you stay there long enough, you realize, because I've done it, where I've stayed in situations too long, and maybe I was being stubborn. Sometimes I can be stubborn and curious. It's like, oh, the shit's gonna hit the fan if you don't get out of there. And I think there was a rebellious side of me that was like, really? Let's see, like, what shit? And when the shit hit the fan, I would have all the damn. I should have listened. I should have left. I should have do this. I should have did that. And those moments were to train me to better follow the guidance in real time and not need 10, 20, 30 confirmations. They're like, we gave you all these different signs long before you picked up the tarot cards. And also, in this case, it was the Ten of Cups that they wanted to see, right? They wanted to see Ten of Cups in the traditional deck. Ten of Cups, they're like, that's the breakup card. And like, actually, it's not solely the breakup card. It's actually the backstabbing card. A lot of these cards could be for breaking up. That card is more specifically about backstabbing. I'm trying to show it to you. Okay. Yeah. It's Ten of Cups. And Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. This is the backstab energy, and it's like not getting what you want is not necessarily a stab to the back. And then maybe Spirit is trying to spare you from the actual backstabbing by making the situation a little bit uncomfortable for you to reflect and move out the way. So they were like, we're trying to avoid it going this far by giving you all these signs and warnings that maybe you want to exit that situation now. However, you live, you learn. Sometimes the shit has to hit the fan for you to realize that the shit really will hit the fan, like exactly what they said. And now you start to realize, okay, they were right, and I should have trusted my gut. Like, how many times did you have a gut feeling, you didn't listen to it, and you're like, dang, I should have trusted my gut the first time, because my gut is my intuition. That's Spirit's connection to me. That's my spirit connection to my body. Right? We have this mind, body, soul connection. I feel like your intuition, your gut, I feel like it's when those things are in alignment and trying to guide you. Like, I feel like sometimes Spirit can pull you from that gut. Spirit can pull you from your heart. Be guided from your heart. Be guided from your gut. I feel like you need alignment, right? We have three brains, not one, 2, and 3, right? If you need scientists to confirm it, they have, right? That the heart does think. We're operating under this belief that the brain thinks and the heart doesn't. Yes, it does. The heart can think just fine, and everything doesn't have to be head over heart or heart over head, but an aligned, this and this being aligned, if anything, that feels amazing. It's actually in my body, that's an exhilarating feeling when I know there's alignment in this direction. That makes sense. And maybe that's also where reflecting in that Hierophant, in that Queen of Cups energy. And then there's certain experiences that we have, and again, about those experiences that wasn't so great. I'm not saying every single messed up thing that happened in your life was for good reason. I'm not at all implying that. But sometimes, oftentimes, Spirit will let in that bully, that person that tried you, that person that wanted to send you juju, that person, that narcissist that tried to manipulate you. I was getting a lot of those kinds of experiences of people downplaying me. And instead of just being mad at them and feeling like I need vindication in this particular situation, I recognized that they were reflecting back to me that I keep downplaying myself. And again, there was the signs. I'm saying, Spirit, where's my abundance? Right? And then Spirit, I would manifest myself into another situation where somebody's trying to play me, somebody's trying to use me, somebody's downplaying me. But it's like, okay, I kind of manifested that by saying, where's my abundance, from an energy of downplaying myself. So I was manifesting to me people who had some form of abundance in their life, but was trying to use me. Point blank, right? Like, it's time to call a spade a spade. Well, I like calling a spade because it saves a lot of time. Understanding the sign. So I recognize the situation was a sign that I'm downplaying too much. And I stopped doing that. I mean, for the most part, I'm still surrendering to what that feels like. But it's like, you have these gifts, you have these abilities, you know better. When you know better, you gotta do better, right? Which is why oftentimes we choose ignorance. Choose ignorance, because if I don't know, then I have that excuse that I don't know. And maybe sometimes that does work in a physical courtroom, like I didn't know. But Spirit sees all. Spirit knows more than physical people around you do, and Spirit knows when you've been downplaying, and you can't use that excuse in spiritual court, right? When when the shit hits the fan, if you're still standing there when the shit hits the fan, the shit's getting on you. And hopefully you learn, right? You learn from cleaning up all that crap, cleaning the crap off your face, off your shoes, off your shirt. In that moment, that's for you to be like, dang, I had a feeling, I had a gut feeling, I saw the signs. Next time I get one of those feelings, I'm gonna listen to it, right? It's practice, it's training. Large part of the reason why I finally am listening is that, right? It's I still feel like I'm not quite manifesting people who are a healthier match for me. I'm sorry, I need to pause this for a sec. Right, so let's actually do some dragon cards. It's one of the important reasons why it matters to really know you. Like, what frequency are you on when you're not downplaying, when you're not lowering your vibration to make other people uncomfortable or to fit in? When you're not lowering your vibration to make other people comfortable in order to fit in. What is your vibration? Allow it what does that feel like? What does that look like for you to allow it to vibrate at its highest frequency possible, and allow the universe to manifest to you people who are a reflection of that version of you? That makes sense. And so it's part of the reason why I finally surrendered, is because my life is just not looking the way I want it to look. And I needed to accept responsibility for the fact that I'm not vibrating at the highest frequency possible by constantly downplaying, by hanging on to certain connections. For example, smoke cigarettes sometimes, right? I keep rationalizing, or like, oh, it's not that many. And I mean, I definitely cut back a whole lot. It was much different when I started. I was in a really stressful place in my life. But now it's really just a habit. I don't really need it as much as I think I'm really just use it. I think it more became like a physical habit than something I actually feel like I need, like in here. Like I don't. That makes sense. It's like something to do when I'm sitting outside. Oh man. Lilac fire dragon transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. So yeah, that very much translates. It coincides, right? Purple is this frequency, this chakra up here. I'm talking about vibrating at the highest frequency possible, and so like purple is a good color for that. And it transmutes through the power of divine love, right? And so releasing judgment, loving yourself more unconditionally, not just judgment of yourself, but releasing judgments of people projecting onto you, right? I was in conversation with someone, and they said they actually kept cutting themselves. They were explaining something, then they would cut themselves off and be like, if I don't sound too arrogant, I did this, and if I don't sound too arrogant, I said that. And I'm like, why do you keep? I'm like, who told you sound arrogant? No. Are you developing confidence in yourself from overcoming those experiences, right? Was standing up to that person? Did standing up to that person help reinforce your confidence in yourself, your trust in yourself, and your relationship with yourself? Because that was the point. And that is also part of the abundance that comes out of overcoming. It's like overcoming the hardship allows you to show, not just like show yourself what you're made of, but spirit is able to show you what they're made of, right? I never found myself in a situation of being in like spiritual warfare. It's like I don't even think I understood how powerful my protection was until I understood, till it was revealed to me what they were protecting me from. And spirit cleverly just guided me. It's like someone guiding you. It's like, hey, can you just stand over here for a sec? And then out of nowhere, air conditioner falls out somebody's window, right? It's like, oh, cool, right? Like, okay, like, I didn't know. And I actually was even in a paranoia. Like, maybe I'm still releasing that paranoia. Maybe I'm also releasing the judgment of being paranoid as someone who consider myself fairly fearless kind of person. And so all that fear and paranoia didn't even feel right. It didn't necessarily feel like me. And also recognizing how many people are projecting and releasing the projections, releasing the judgment of myself and releasing the projections. Because the reality is that everyone around you right now don't want you to elevate too far, too high, too fast. Some people, you'd be surprised how many people in your life want to control the pace. Like, it's a little annoying, but I won't let it annoy me too much. Great. Yeah, I don't know.